Gentlemen, Councilman, Mr. Keener, if he'll lead us in prayer, would you, sir?
One thing I would ask of each individual, let's pray in our own hearts. All right? Oh Lord Jesus, I pray, take my heart. Lift all the trash and the heavy load that I carry. In your holy name I give thanks. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Mr. Keener, we'll get into Mrs. Britton, would you do a roll call for us, lady?
Jackie Bob Martin.
Honey.
David Thornton. Buell Anglin.
Here.
Bill John Baker.
Here.
Jack Baker.
Here.
Audra Connor. Joe Crittenden. Meredith Fraley. Don Garvin. Bill Johnson.
Here.
Taylor King.
Here.
Johnny Keener. Linda O'Leary. Melvina Shotpouch. Kara Cowan Watts. Phyllis Yargy. John Masters. We have a quorum.
We do have a quorum, so we can continue and take care of business. The first thing on the agenda is approval of our March 12th regular session minutes. Did I hear a motion to approve? We have a motion and a second. And any questions, discussion? None. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? None. Thank you. Looking out in the audience, see some not necessarily strange faces, but welcome you here today. And I tell people, different areas out in community, need to attend these committee meetings. That's where all the work is done as far as making these decisions and whatever, and we appreciate you being here. That being said, I want to ask the committee to, if you will, to amend the agenda to add probably to item 7, and that Mrs. Donaldson, if you'll come up and tell the committee why we need to do this, and we'll ask for a motion whether to or not.
What we'd like to do is to place a piece of land in the trust that's on Ross Road. It's 255.33 acres. This is property that we purchased on Wednesday in the Arkansas Riverbed Trust Act area, and it's our first piece for mandatory trust, and we want to get moving on it as fast as we can because we already have an environmental.
I'll second.
I have a motion, Mr. Baker, and a second from Mr. Jack Baker. So any county?
It's in Muskogee County. It's near Weber's Falls on Ross Road. It's within a quarter mile of an off-ramp from I-40.
So the motion is to amend the agenda.
No, let y'all pass it. Some of those.
All in favor of amending the agenda, this item? Some aye? Aye. Any opposed? None. So we'll look at that. Item 7.
Thank you.
All right, let's get into our reports then, and I'm going to ask, because of time wise here, if shorten up if you can, if you will, just a little bit. I'm not asking you to cut them out completely, but we'll get into our reports. And Mrs. Drews can't be here. I went by her office this morning, and she had a child that's sick and had to take off from work, so we have Mr. Todd Enlow to do our natural resource report.
Okay. Good afternoon. Just a couple quick things. We're supposed to meet this week or next with the utility company to discuss our Silensaw Creek project, running electric lines down through there. We're trying to bury that underground, so we'll go over the design with the utility company this week or next. In the last month, we've planted 5,425 shagbark hickory trees in several locations. We had deer that tried to get at them as soon as we put them in the ground, so we've got tree shoots, and of course our frost didn't do us any favors. We had 2 frosts after we planted them, so we kind of get to hide and watch over the next couple months and see how well we did with the trees and how well they're going to do. We also had the tree giveaway that we do every year with our employees. It was actually a fairly low turnout this year. Usually we give them away with standing lines in the first hour and a half, and this year we couldn't give them away in 3.5 or 4 hours, and it took us a couple days to actually get rid of all of them. We have been working quite a bit with the Saline Courthouse group called the SPA, the Saline Preservation Association, regarding the Saline District Courthouse, working with them on their master plan and just doing some extra community work out there. And then the last thing is we've been working on the Cherokee Orphan Asylum, the cemetery. We've placed the headstone markers and started construction of the fence to set that aside and make it a quiet, special place and in remembrance of those orphans. We've set the 31 headstones out there now and getting the paths squared away. So we hope to have that done by Memorial Day. So that'll be somewhat of a special recognition. That's been on the budget for the last couple of years. It's actually starting to look very nice.
That's very good. I'm glad to get to that.
And then outside of that, I won't bore you with all the details of our daily work, but we did create a new brochure that's for the general public, so you guys can have some information about what natural resources is, what we do. And one of the things I'm really proud of with our GIS, or our natural resources folks, is the Gadugi section. And that's where we go out and we help communities do whatever it is they need help with. And that's one of the things that takes up quite a bit of our time, but it's good for our employees as well as the community. The employees feel like they're doing something productive for the community. That's all I got. Anybody got any questions?
Question, comment for Mr. Enlow? No, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Item 2 on our report, real estate service, Ms. Linda Donaldson.
Okay, on the real estate services, we had over 1,033 calls this past month, and that's the most we've had in some time. We also met with 135 individual clients. We did 24 site inspections. We did 9 probate inventories, and we completed 1 ALJ probate on trust property. That went to the BIA. We did 14 reports for distribution, and we also have a MHH pending at the Bureau. That's where we're transferring a house that's in trust to someone in fee simple, because apparently they're wanting to mortgage it. They're always wanting to mortgage their house as soon as they get it in their name. We also have 32 of our tribal grazing leases still pending at the Bureau, which they're promising to us this week, and we're hoping they'll stick to their promise. We did 9 home visits, 13 jurisdictional calls. We received 11 quiet title suits in March, and some of those we have responded to. We're still working on 4. We did 1 will interview last month, and the will was executed, and 5 days later that individual passed away. So we were just ahead of her passing away. We also did several documents that went to the title plant, and we scanned 944 documents for that. And that again is in preparation of converting over to TAMS so that we would be ready to share information with the Bureau. We are also assisting the solicitor's office on a mortgage approval on a tract of land in Adair County that's restricted tract that's through district court. One of our staff members, Jamie Hothouse, assisted community services with delivery of equipment to the California picnics, and he helped with the food preparation. We had 3 staff members attending the BIA, which I was one of them. I did have the opportunity to address the 500 some odd people, BIA and realty staff from other tribes. We were able to tell them what our issues with the BIA was. And I think that was well received because they have a lot of the same issues. Problems with getting our properties in the trust, problems with getting online so that we can be on their TAMS and their TFAS and their ProTract and other type of things that the BIA does. And as well as getting inventories and other things. And otherwise, there wasn't a whole lot that was happening at the conference that was new. It just seemed like it was a replay. In fact, we wanted to see the realty handbook that they were going to put out, and they took that off the agenda once we got there. So I guess that's not ready. We also had the 3.5 rolling parking lot track that was in the Federal Register last month. April 5th was the last day for objections. We didn't receive any, so we're going to work towards completing the updates on that one. And I think you know about the 255 acres that we're hoping to get that trust started. And that's all I have. Questions?
Question, comment?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Item 3 and 4, roads and transportation and public comment, road issues. Michael Lynn.
Good afternoon. I'll try to make this pretty short and sweet. We've got 3 projects underway right now. Fairview Phase 2 project in Delaware County. Still fairly young project, but it's going well up there. Still in the clearing and grubbing phase of getting all that through, and then they'll start their actual grading and getting things where they need to be as far as that goes. The project we've got going is the Red Barn Road project here in Cherokee County. That job is well underway. They've got around 2.5 miles paved with the first layer of asphalt. They'll come back with another layer of asphalt after the whole 6 miles is completed and finish everything up in one smooth surface. The rest of the project, the remaining 3 or 4 miles that they've got, they're still doing their grading and clearing down through there. Saline Creek Bridge is about 99.5% complete. There's just some minor cleanup things out there. The bridge looks good. Before we final that project out, we want to make sure they have adequate vegetation and everything is tidied up out there, if you will. So we're close to finaling that project out. So that'll be probably one of the last times you hear me talk about that project. But it turned out to be a really good project. The next thing we have along that route is going to be the road. It'll tie into that bridge. That's still in design, but it's nearly completed, and once that's completed, we'll start the right-of-way acquisition on that. We've got our right-of-way department is focusing on 3 projects: Cedar Crest Road and Cedar Crest Bridge in Mays County. The bridge portion, we'd like 2 landowners. We're in negotiations right now with both of them. I believe we can come to an agreement on one of the 2. The other one I don't think we're going to come to an agreement on. We are also working with the county commissioner in that district to try to proceed to the next steps if necessary, which would be condemnation. We've got about 14 parcels left yet to acquire on the Cedar Crest Road portion. So far we've had pretty good responses from all of the individuals out on that project, but they just recently started that, so that's still underway. Rice Woodard Road here in Cherokee County is we've turned over 6 landowners to the county commissioner to proceed with condemnation if it comes down to that. I know the county commissioner is working with the district attorney trying to move that forward. Don't have a really good update on the Honey Hill project over in Adair County, other than it's still on hold as far as the condemnation goes there. It's just a long, slow process. We've got, I don't have any projects this month for motor fuels, motor vehicles, or the bridge and access funds. Don't have anything that we've received yet. I know that's something that I always report on each month, but I haven't seen anything come in this month from any county commissioners yet. Most of you, though, it looks like from the reports I've seen, have spent a majority of your funds. I don't, if you've got any questions about any of that, you can either get with Doug Evans or myself, and we can let you know what you've got available if you've got any questions. Last couple of things I'd like to mention. We've got the Daytown Dry Creek project was bid out last month, and we've yet to make an award on that. We're waiting on some information to come back from administration that's being reviewed. The expect to have that information back this week and make an award this week. With all that pending, we've got a pre-construction community meeting scheduled for Thursday of this week, and I'm not quite sure. That'd be the 19th. I'm not quite sure if that's going to happen at this point. But we're still holding it open right now. May or may not happen. But if we don't have an award made, we will not hold the meeting. If we have made an award, which I hope I have something by this evening, we will go ahead and hold that meeting. Also, we are going to hold a county commissioner orientation here on site at the ballroom, community ballroom over here behind the restaurant, or in the same building as the restaurant, on the 24th of this month. We've done this in years past when we have a large turnover in county commissioners within our jurisdiction. We'll call all the county commissioners in, invite the commissioners and their office staff and even their field staff if they would like to bring them in, and go over our processes here at the Cherokee Nation and how we can partner up and work together on these type of projects like motor fuels, motor vehicles, and special bridge funding. So that's going to be on the 24th of this month. I'd like to invite all of you all down if you can make it, and be a good way to start networking with some of the new county commissioners if you haven't already. So that's all I have to report this month, unless there's any questions.
Michael, the letters were sent out to the community folks.
Yes, they have.
For Thursday night?
Yes, they have.
Now, what's going to happen on that day?
I'm not quite sure about that.
Yeah.
We're going to have to get the word out really quick if it is canceled. I do not want to cancel this. I'm pushing administration to get me an answer as quickly as they can.
And that's Thursday night, and it starts at
6:30.
6:30.
Yes, ma'am.
Phone calls to be made.
Yes, a tremendous amount, and that's why I do not want to do it.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
You can be there too.
Mr. Crittenden, you through Linda?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Michael, that rock fence road, back down, I guess you'll be coming back down north or up.
Yes, sir.
They haven't decided to have a meeting on that, I don't guess.
I've got a call into Russell Turner, Mr. Turner, the commissioner in that district. I put a call into him today, trying to get a meeting set up. There's been some emails being generated, floating around regarding that subject. I'm going to try to set something up either late this week or early next week with the commissioner and people from Realty, Natural Resources, try to see what possible routes we can take. We've looked at possibly going around the perimeter of the landfill. I think that's been ruled out because of the contract with ICI and trust issues and things like that. Linda could speak more about that if necessary. But I think they've pretty well ruled out that scenario. So we are looking at either rock fence north or something off of Bell Road, Salem Road, whatever it might be called, south towards that property. But again, that'll be determined once we sit down in the room together and with the commissioner and see what who can do what and how we can get this thing moving. But we are working on it.
Michael, and following up on Mr. Crittenden's question there, when you have that meeting with the county commissioners, I'd like to be notified.
Okay.
To know where we can set in on.
Okay, good deal.
The meeting.
We'll let you know.
Yeah, thank you.
That's it. Thank you all.
All right, moving right along, facilities, I have David Roberts. You're the man, look like.
That's multiple personalities.
Yeah.
Want to brief you on a couple things. Marcoma, we're continuing to work out there, get that site ready. We've done some evaluation on the roof system there. Looks like we are going to have to definitely at least replace the entryway, which is basically a flat roof, and everybody knows in Oklahoma flat roofs don't survive very well. And we're also evaluating the actual roof over the gymnasium itself, which is a pitched roof. But we think we found a couple of weak spots, and we're looking at that to make sure that long-term it'll be all right. If you've been in a complex recently, the complex we went through and added some additional lights. It was a good and it was a bad thing. It was good because now we can see. It's a bad thing because now we can see. We can see all the scratches in the wall that you couldn't see before. But that's kind of our overall plan, was to brighten up the complex, make it a little bit more user-friendly. We've got some artwork that we're planning on hanging up and down that tell the story of the Trail of Tears and other stories from artists' perspective. So in the next couple of months, you should see a huge change inside the complex, and then we're going to start to take that out into the different areas. A couple things, we moved the thermostat in the council chambers. I don't know if you guys can really appreciate how important that move was. I went in there the other day and the temperature was 65 degrees in there. And, or no, I'm sorry, it was 85 degrees in there. But the thermostat read 65. And so I got to call around. I said, you guys ever had a problem with this thermostat? Because it's obviously not right. I'm not having a hot flash. I know something just isn't right. And he said, no, we've never really noticed it. So I put my hand on the wall. If you guys think about it, in the council chambers where the thermostat is, it's on a brick wall. It's convecting all of the heat and all of the cold from the outside down that brick wall. So we could never get the temperature right in the council chamber. So we moved it to a location that was actually suitable to take the correct temperature in. So hopefully the council chambers will be cost effective as well as comfortable. And then I want to brag on...
That you have Shelley and Gail.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it's ever too cold.
I want to brag on two of our housekeeping staff. A couple of months ago or weeks ago, I took the opportunity to recognize those individuals, and I've been bragging about them every chance I get. David Cookson, and these are both gentlemen. One of the gentlemen, David, is night crew, and then Mike Scott, he works in the day. We recognize those two because David, in the last 2 or 3 years, has missed 4 days, which is pretty impressive for housekeeping because it's not a very glamorous or, thought-provoking job, and sometimes it's hard to get people to make it here, but he's here every night with ready to go and do whatever he needs to. The other gentleman is Mike Scott, and he holds a standard that I can't hold, that nobody that I know of. Regardless of what kind of day he's had, regardless of what he's doing, he could be 30 feet up on a ladder washing a window, and you can say, hey, Mike, how's it going? He'll turn around, stand at attention, and say, hello, sir, how are you today, sir? If you guys ever run into him, you know exactly who I'm talking about. And he is the most cordial, friendly person and respectful that I've ever met. And so I really wanted to brag on those two guys. They set the example not only for housekeeping, but for the rest of the Cherokee Nation staff. And then we've been working over the last couple of months doing some space cost analysis. We're breaking down every utility bill, every cost of supplies, every employee wage that goes into our space cost. And so what we've done so far is we've broken it down to housekeeping, what it costs us to do housekeeping on a square foot basis. It's $2.88, and we're looking at how we can break that down and do it more economically or better, trying to keep our total cost down, which drives all of our budgets up if our space cost isn't kept in check. So we're analyzing all that, and as soon as we get finished with the whole report, I'll be happy to share that with you guys so you can see how we're spending the money of trying to keep the buildings up and yet at the same time keep our costs down. So
Good work.
And then one of the other things I wanted to remind you guys of, I'm sure you'll talk about it, but the next Resource Committee meeting will be at Delonaghy, and we are making preparations to get ready for that. So we'll be happy to host that there at the Delonaghy Shop Building. Any questions?
Any questions, comments? All right.
Thank you.
And we'll look forward to seeing you at Delonaghy then, if we don't see you sooner. All right, let's move along with our, there's no unfinished business. We'll get into new business. Item number 1, Mrs. Donaldson will present this resolution. Resolution authorizing approval of a business lease between Cherokee Nation and Kenwood Community Association on trust land.
This is a community building that is in Kenwood, and it has a ballpark with it. And we have been leasing it to the Kenwood Center for the past 5 years, and they've requested another 5-year lease.
Second.
One addition to that, could I make one comment? The resolution in your packet does not ask for a waiver of appraisal, and we would ask that a waiver of appraisal be done because this is for a nominal amount. We'd like to waive the appraisal since it's $4 a year.
You agree with that, Mel?
Yes.
That amendment, and that'll be corrected when we get it to the full council. All mine, Mrs. Yardy? Okay, Ms. Yardy has a question.
Linda, why is it just for the 5 years?
That's just the way it's been done for some time, so, and that's all they're wanting. I guess he may have projects that he does, but that's what he asked for, is 5 years, so that's what we asked for from you.
Any other questions or comments before we vote? Well, all in favor of this, sign aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None? Linda, thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 2, Kent Curtis, present this resolution authorizing the Environmental Program Group to submit an application to the U.S. Environment Protection Agency for Clean Air Act Section 103 funding. Good to see you, Kent.
Thank you. Basically, this is a grant application for continued funding from the EPA to continue the work that we're already doing at a number of sites within the Cherokee Nation and elsewhere. We've had ongoing monitoring, air quality monitoring projects at those locations for several years now, some of them dating back to the late 1990s, and this is just a grant to continue the work that we're doing.
So moved, sir.
Linda, move.
Second.
Approve, and Ms. Connors, second. Any question, comment? All in favor, sign aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None? Approved, thank you.
Thank you.
Item 3, Jared Diffie, a resolution authorizing Cherokee Nation Environmental Program to submit an application to the U.S. EPA for water quality monitoring grant. And I understand this requires a 5% match, and how many dollars are we talking about?
Around 7,000, which will be met through our administrator's salary.
Linda?
So moved, sir. Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Any question, comment? All minds clear? All in favor, sign aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So you have item number 4 then, that was approved, no opposition. Resolution authorizing Cherokee Nation Environmental Program to submit an application to the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency for an Indian General Assistance Program Regional Tribal Operations Committee support grant.
Second.
Have a motion, who was it over here? Buell?
Yes.
And Linda, second the motion. Any questions, comments? How many dollars we talking about here?
50,000.
50,000. No question, comments? All in favor, sign aye. Aye. Any opposed? None? That's approved. Item 5, resolution authorizing Cherokee Nation Environmental Program to submit an application to U.S. Environmental Protection Agency for the Indian General Assistance Program Training Grant. Jared, explain that to us, if you will.
It's a grant that we've had for the last 5 years, but we're reapplying this year. We offer trainings to Region 6 tribes within the Oklahoma, New Mexico, Texas.
Second.
Mr. Becker, Linda, Mr. Lear, second motion. Any questions, comments? All in favor, sign aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None? So that's approved. Item 6, resolution authorizing Cherokee Nation Environmental Program to submit an application to the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency for an Indian General Assistance Program grant.
Move for approval.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions, comments? All in favor, sign aye. Any opposed? None? Thank you, Mr. Dixon.
Thank you, sir.
And the last item, 7, Mr. Donaldson, explain that to us again, would you please?
This again is the property on Ross Road. It's 255.33 acres, which we would like to have placed in the trust, and we're requesting that
Mr.
a
Garvin?
resolution be made.
I have a couple of questions. First, what was the price you gave for the property?
$1,500 an acre.
Okay, was there more than one landowner?
There were 21.
And,
They owned as a family.
what, man? Is there a realtor involved?
No, there wasn't on this one. We went through the, well, if there wasn't, I didn't meet the realtor. I didn't meet the realtor if there was. But we basically were doing this through the probate action.
Also, there's 30 acres down on the southeast end on the north side of the highway. Is there any chance to get that, block it up for later on?
As far as I know, we hadn't asked that, and I can see which acres that you're looking at. And so far, we hadn't approached any of those owners. We were really looking, since we had the opportunity to purchase this, we went at it as soon as we could. And this property that's back up in here, some of the others on the side, those are Sequoia Fuels properties, and if we ever can acquire some of that, we would be joining again.
It's my understanding that this, Arkansas River Corridor is almost automatic, and automatic means about how many years?
Well, faster than the other. It's what you have is 2 phases when you do your trust applications. Your first phase is notifications of the entities that you're going to take a piece of property in the trust. And they get to respond and say, oh, I don't like it, or they like it, and you have to respond back, and it goes forward like that. With the mandatory trust, it cuts that first phase pretty much out because you don't have to notify anybody. It cuts out all the notifications because they're saying you have the right to have this put in the trust. All we have to show is that we've got a clean title and that we have a good environmental, and basically that the tribe is wanting to take this in the trust. We show those 3 things, and then we move forward to phase 2, which is again showing that the property's still good to go, and that there are no liens against it, there are no other problems that could occur on it. But the one good thing about it is they don't have to ask us what we're going to do with the property.
Mr. Chairman, I move for the approval.
Mr. Garvin, our second over here, Mr. Engel. Any other questions, comments?
Thank you.
All in favor, sign of aye. Any opposed? None? Thank you. Approved. We'll get into announcements. Our next meeting was mentioned is at the Lonaghy Resource Facility, May the 14th. Now, our book says 10 o'clock, but I think we understood in the meeting it would be 11.
Yes.
Everyone understand that, so, Mr. Masters, you can sleep an hour later now. All right, all that said, any other announcements?
Move for adjournment.
Second.
Got a motion, second adjourned, and all in favor? Meeting adjourned.
So that's a good way right here in the way, and have to get it out of the way.
You sure?
I need to get you
Resolution is correct.
Yeah, this is a resolution.